Why we need people around us to have the same vision. How you doing today, Brother Sam?
Excelente.
Excelentemente bien. Thank you for joining us today.
Glad we could do this finally.
All right, Sam. Let me start it off with a video before we start chopping it up.
Yeah.
Right? That way we can warm up the audience with a little message.
To do if I want to grow, I need people around me that have the same goal, same vision. So I wanted to create my own lane. Someone sent me one the other day. Said, once you create your own lane, there's no traffic. And I looked at everything that was going on, and I thought about it, and I said, because they used to run up on me, oh, Chico, you don't rap for the streets no more. I said, no, dog, see, that's where you got to talk. I rap to get out the streets, not to stay in the streets. Big difference. Oh, you done sold out, Chico? I said, I'm sold out like a mother. Arenas, stadiums. Yeah, you're right. Because they're afraid of growth. All right? And if anybody ever comes to you that question your credibility, or they don't want to grow due to their credibility, or they think that they're going to tarnish their credibility because they were never credible in the first place, they need acceptance. They need confirmation. But what I have to do...
What you thought about the video, Sam, before I give you an introduction, give you a chance to tell your story, and then how we basically met, and why we decided to start it, why we need people around us to have the same vision?
I love the video. I agree with him 100%. I really liked how he was just really talking about where he said, when you create your own lane, there's no traffic, right? That's kind of what stood out to me, is because when you're doing something that's really true to yourself and you're creating your own lane, you're gonna be able to just go and you don't have to worry about all the distractions and everything that goes along with it, because you're not just following the trend where all the masses are. You're creating your own lane. And it reminds me of a book, Blue Ocean Strategies, where they really talks about, in business, you want to create your blue ocean, so that way there's no competition.
That's why I've never had any competition. Yeah. My only competition has been only myself, if it makes sense. Yeah. What else? What else you got from the video?
I like what he also said. He's like, you know, I rap, people were upset with me because you forget about the streets and you left us. He's like, I was rapping to get out the street. He's like, that was my purpose. And he's like, now I'm selling out arenas and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. And he had a vision for himself and what he wanted to do, and he went out and he did it. So I really appreciate that clip. It's very good information.
Also, I want to read this. Someone once said, surround yourself with people who have dreams, desire, and ambition. They'll help you push forward and realize your own. Don't take advice from everyone. Don't take advice from someone you wouldn't wish to change places with. Let's say you want advice on how to be happier. The last person you should ask is someone who is always miserable. Think about it. If their advice had any value, why aren't they happy themselves? Will you take advice from, hold up. Who you take advice from will decide the life you're going to live. Take advice from unhappy people and you will become unhappy.
That's right.
In another word, I say it in Spanish. Dime con quién anda y te diré quién eres y para dónde vas. Tell me who you're with and I'm going to tell you who you are and where you're heading. Yeah. I live by that. You're going to notice something about me. Not just in sports, basketball, right? Because we had the pleasure to play basketball together. We met each other in the gym, right? But also in business. I've always been very selective who I do business with, because at the end of the day, I understood something about life in business. For example, in business, not all money is good money, right? So in the personal level also, not all good women, not to talk about is good woman, right? Because the number one decision we make as human in the professional level is who we partner up with. But in the personal level, who we marry, as a girlfriend, significant other, right? Yep. So I always been very selective who I have around. But I also been very selective who I have around too. Since I always been a vision-driven leader, I've noticed most people, just like the Bible says, people perish because of lack of vision. Proverbs 29:18. People perish also because of lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. Those two Bible verses, literally, when I first heard them, bro, impacted me at a very young age. Also, faith without works doesn't work.
Exactly.
So I walk by faith, not by what I see. So as a man that operates through the imagination, communication, unification, implementation, not really. Because I've always been the type of person, I'd rather tell people what to do than people tell me what to do.
Right.
You got me? I've always been a leader, but not just a regular leader, a leader that creates leaders that creates leaders. I surround myself around other people that move people.
Right.
So I leverage them. I leverage their resources overall. Because I always say, it's who, not how. Most people, they get stuck in the how. How can I do this? You get me? I don't get stuck in the how. I say, who could do this? Because I understood at a very young age that God gave everybody talents, gifts. So why not leverage my brothers and sisters? Because I see everybody as a brother or sister,
Yes,
right? God's other children, their talents in my favor, but also my talents in their favor.
Yeah.
Right or wrong?
Yes, absolutely.
Right? So can you tell the world your story? Obviously, you know.
Yeah, I think, we're kind of talking about before, like, whoever somebody is accumulation of their past experiences, right? For me, my parents came from Nigeria descent, first generation. They came, they went to Tennessee, which is where my father had a scholarship to go to school, Murfreesboro State, Tennessee. Then they had 3 kids, me, my brother, my sister.
You're the oldest?
I'm the middle child. My brother's the oldest, my sister's the youngest. And we lived in Tennessee for about maybe like 4 or 5 years before we ended up moving to Connecticut. In Connecticut, we were there for most of my life, actually. I grew up there until I was probably like 22 before I moved to Jersey.
How old are you now?
Right now, I'm 41.
41.
So,
41 years young.
Yes, sir. And I've been in Jersey now for almost like 16 years now.
16 years?
I do consider Jersey home, but I did grow up in Connecticut, spent a lot of time there, still have a lot of friends there. But, all those different life experiences is why I am who I am today. And basically, with my childhood and growing up, at some point, my father, he had to go back to Nigeria. So it was just my mother, and she was basically raising us.
Have you been to Nigeria?
I have, right. I've been a couple times. And when I was younger, I don't remember, I was like 2 or 3 years old. My father actually brought me back with him to stay for a whole year. And he ended up coming back. But, after my father left and my mom was basically raising us on her own, at a young age, I was probably like 10 or 11 when that happened, you kind of grow up a little bit faster, right? Because now, basically, you become the man of the house, right? So
that's a good thing.
Right? Yeah.
That's an excellent thing.
No, so you start to see the world as a different place because now, your mom starts talking to you about bills and chores and the stress that she's going through. Again, this is a foreign country to her, so she's really trying to figure out things and learn things. And my father was an entrepreneur. He tried to do different business things, and it's funny how like life changes you and shapes you because my mom, she always wanted my dad to have like a 9-to-5, right? Because you got kids, it's like support your family. It's more stable, right, than being an entrepreneur. So I think early on in my career, that's kind of why I leaned towards the 9-to-5, right?
How long were you working as an employee? How many years?
So when I was in Connecticut, I went through high school and I did a little bit of college there. I went to a community college for a couple of years, but my first trade was actually masonry. So I was a mason. I was, building chimneys and pouring concrete on driveways, and I was a laborer.
So you were really working hard.
I was working,
implementation.
Right? And originally, I thought that's what my career was going to be.
So time was money.
Right, exactly. And I really thought that's what I was going to do, but then turns out I was 22, 23. I started having back problems from lifting all the heavy stones and cement. So I was like, you know what? My mom always told me go to school, but I was like, I don't know. But I was like, maybe she was right. So I went back to school. And my mom actually had moved to Jersey, which is why I originally moved here. And she had a job at a pharmaceutical company, Novartis. She's like, hey, come stay with me, go to school, get your, degree. I'm not gonna charge you any rent, and then, do it like that. So I took up on an offer, moved to Jersey, came here, went to PCC, Passaic County Community College, got my associate's degree in accounting, and then eventually ended up getting a job at TD Bank. And that was really my business growing up. My business career, I was at TD Bank for about 14 years, right? And I did various jobs while I was there. I did customer service, I did teller, I did weekend supervisor, store supervisor, assistant manager, manager. I've done all those positions at the bank, and that kind of really where I cut my teeth in business, and I saw a lot of things. And I always thought it was interesting because when you're when you're an employee, right, and especially once you get to the managerial level, it basically becomes your business, right? Because they give you a budget, they tell you which employees to hire. So basically now you're running a business, but guess what? You don't get the benefit of all the income that comes from the business. You're a salary, right? Either you're a salary or your hourly wage. So
plus bonuses.
Right, plus bonuses, but there's capped upside. Versus when you're a business owner and you own the business,
Unlimited.
it's unlimited, right? Whatever you can generate in revenue, whatever your revenue share is, that goes to you. So I think just working at the bank, and it was good in a way. I didn't make a lot of money when I was working at the bank.
What you were making, if you could tell the
So
world?
I started off, I think maybe $28,000. This was back in 2008 when they hired me as a customer service representative.
2008, it was one of my best years.
There you go. You know what I'm saying? So I was still working part-time, going to school full-time, and that's kind of how I was, just really trying to get my degree. So I ended up going to Rutgers and getting a degree in finance and economics. I got a double major, right? And originally I was going to go to Wall Street. I did an internship on Wall Street, and I thought that was going to be kind of my path, use my finance degree there. But I ended up staying at the bank because I did enjoy working there. And I was like, you know what? I enjoy banking. I'll stay here. And
You enjoy the security?
I enjoy the security, but also when I first started working, I worked in the branch in Hackensack. And we had a really good group of people.
Hold up, in Hackensack?
Hackensack, yeah.
I had a cell phone store in Hackensack.
Courthouse. Yeah, you did.
I'm serious.
Okay.
Small world.
All right, yeah.
And the funny thing, it was not my first store. It was actually my second or third store.
Yeah.
But I got scammed, bro.
Yeah, there's a lot of scammers out there.
Bro, in Hackensack.
A lot of scammers.
I got scammed. I partnered up with two different guys, and one of them literally just bounced with our money, bro.
So
we were doing, it was a retail location, and it was wholesale too. So for the wholesale part, the guy his name was Carlos too.
Okay.
Got scammed $50,000.
Yeah, so when you work in a bank, you see nothing but scams. So like at the bank, there's a lot of scammers. There's people who are involved in scams, they don't even realize they're involved in scams because people are trying to use their accounts to do different fraudulent things. And like I remember one of these scams, and I felt so bad for this lady. She was unemployed. I think she went on like LinkedIn or one of these sites to go get a job. So she got a job, what she thought as like a secret shopper. They're like, oh, go shop at this store and give us a review and we'll cut you a check and this and that. So she goes, does whatever this job tells her to do, the job tells her to do. They give her a check, I think it was like $10,000. When you're unemployed, you're not getting any money. $10,000 is a lot of money, right? So she takes this check, deposits it in her account, and the scam is they give you a check to deposit into your account, and then the bank, because you're our customer, will usually release the funds in like a day or two. It's a bad check though. And what the scam is, they say, hey, so we're gonna give you $10,000, you send us $5,000, you keep the other $5,000 for your work, right? So she goes in, sends them $5,000, takes the other $5,000 for herself, but then in 3 or 4 days, that check gets returned, her account's now negative $10,000. They're off with the money because they have them wire the money, Western Union. She can't get it back, but now her account is negative, and she owes the bank the $10,000 that she spent. The other $5,000, I don't think she had spent all of it, so she was able to put some of it back. But basically, she was out of that money. And now, think about being unemployed, thinking about not having any money, and now being negative $5,000. And of course, her bank accounts get frozen. So it was just like, these are the type of scams and different things that people do, but
we're talking about real scam, not still confused about money.
Right.
Because there's people that are poor, passing opportunities over repeatedly, and it's because they're still confused about money. Right. So when you bring something to the table and you offer them to help them, they're not used to having people help them, give them a helping hand. You got me?
Absolutely.
Because they don't understand that if you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. Yeah. But when you work hard on a job, you only make a living, right? Because when you work hard on yourself, nobody's gonna basically set your future better than yourself.
Absolutely.
Who's gonna pay you more than what you're worth other than yourself?
You gotta know your worth, right?
So when you know your worth, it's because you did that inner work. Yeah. You got me? Because your external world is a reflection of your inner world, right? So if I know I did my inner work, why would I let another man, another woman tell me how much am I gonna get paid?
Exactly.
I'd rather, instead of me letting another man or woman tell me how much I'm gonna get paid, I'd rather tell other people. If it makes sense.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And even like that, the cash flow quadrant,
yes, sir.
Rich Dad, Poor Dad, you actually picked out the book today. right? You see how there's a rich dad or poor dad, right? See, most people, they don't understand the cash flow, how the economy works, how the cash flows, right? You said you were an employee, right? Time is money for people that are employees, right? In the E. Then there's self-employed. You own a job.
Right.
You're still an employee, right? Even though you own the job, you're still an employee. Business owner, with money, you buy people's time. So that's unification instead of being implementation. So I started off different from you. I started off straight as a businessman, right? But I understood something at a very young age.
Was that Salesforce store one of your first businesses?
Yeah, but I started off with my uncle.
Got it.
I was raised, when I was 2 years old, they used to babysit me in the store, furniture. You got me? I was already like hands-on. That childhood, like that most people have, I've never had it. Playing with stuff, I was playing business. You got me? So that's why it's not that I didn't have a childhood, but like for example, we love basketball.
Right.
I never played basketball for school, none of that, because I'd rather work in the business, right, than play sports when I was younger.
Yes.
But even though I played baseball, but basketball I didn't play. Right. But making a long story short, bro, the message I want to bring to the world also is that when you're an employee, right, you're limited. You don't have that freedom, right, to maximize your potential, right? So just using you as an example, when did you start basically to realize that you needed more, that you were more hungry, that you needed more out of your life?
So I was at the bank. I'm like probably 10 years into the bank, and then I started thinking I was thinking about my career path in the bank, and if I stayed with the bank, what my next progression would be. Typically at a bank, you're gonna go store manager, maybe regional manager or vice president, and then regional market manager. There's like different levels, and then eventually you could try to become like CEO or president or something like that. So I was looking at my career path, and I was like, you know what? That's not what I want to do for the rest of my my life, right? The rest of my career. So that's when I actually started thinking about real estate, because I remember working at the bank, and the happiest people who were coming in were the developers, the people flipping houses and buying properties, and they come in with checks, $250,000, $500K deposited, and they were always so happy. They also noticed that they had time. When I was at the bank, everyone was always in such a rush to get in and out, but these guys would come in, they're like, hey man, you want to take your time, and they're just at ease. And I was like, maybe I should start looking into that. And
they were working smart and not hard.
They were working smart and not hard, right? So I started noticing that, I'd ask questions.
With money, you make money, investor.
And that's why I'd never downplay my time at the bank, because I asked a lot of questions when I was there, right? I dealt with probably 1,000 different business owners. And I talked to every one of them, asked them questions about how they started their business, why they started their business, how they're being successful in their business. And I got a lot of knowledge just from talking to people.
Capital gains, right? Imagine capital gains. Right, exactly. Imagine you interviewing all those business people. Right. And you read the book, Think and Grow Rich.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't say work and grow rich, right?
Yeah.
Napoleon Hill, Andrew Carnegie sent Napoleon Hill to interview all the successful people.
Yes.
Right? Imagine you doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Because that's one thing I'm planning on doing myself.
And like you were kind of talking about, like people who are like-minded, right? People who have the same type of vision. Those are the people that you really want to surround yourself with, because they understand the sacrifices that you kind of have to make. Like when you have a vision, especially it's something that you're trying to bring to reality, it's only in your head, right? So it's hard for other people to really have that concept and that belief in it.
Unless you learn how to think on paper too.
Exactly.
You write it down.
And then now you can explain it, and that's a skill in itself, right? So long story short, at the bank, I was like, I want to get into real estate. So I decided to become a realtor, because that way I can make some money and also
get your foot in the door.
And also learn the real estate game as well. And after being a realtor for a couple of years, I decided I wanted to do it full time. So when I was a realtor, I was doing it part time. Did it for 2 years part time, and then eventually I decided I wanted to be a realtor full time, and I was going to leave the bank. That's what I ended up doing.
So hold up, you're the type of person that you like you like having one foot inside, one foot outside?
Well,
you don't go all in?
Well, at the time,
see, I'm all in. Well, I like balling. Balling is be all in.
Well, that's the risk, right? The bigger the risk, the bigger the reward.
I'm a risk taker.
So at the time, I had mortgages and stuff like that. So I just wanted to make sure that if it didn't work out the way I thought it would, that I had something to fall back on. So I saved up money just in case, it didn't go well and I needed cash flow or whatever, I needed money. before I left. So those 2 years, I was just kind of stacking up money. So that way, if it didn't go well, I still had some money to fall back on because at the time, I had a property, I had a mortgage to pay, I had people to take care of and things like that. So I waited till the time was right and I left. I actually left in 2020, right during the pandemic. And guess what? The whole world shut down. But it was a learning experience for me, right? Because during that time, I was forced to really develop myself, right? Develop my skills. Because,
Personal development.
Right, and when I was at the bank, I was always developing my skills for what the bank needed, right?
I want to play a video. Good thing you brought that up. I got this video right at the top.
Want to get really rich, you're going to have to change the way that you think about money. If you don't have a skill set to earn a ton of money, then you need to invest all of the money that you have in learning skills that helps you make a ton of money. So many of you are just going to stay broke because you're consistently going to make the same amount of money with the same skills, spending your money on dumbass material items. You have to reframe the way that you think about money and take every dollar and every hour and invest that in learning skills, sales, business, e-com, tech, SaaS, persuasion, marketing, copy. You need to learn skills that will make you money. And if you're not willing to invest in yourself, you will stay broke. Don't ask for free handouts. Don't ask for top-level people for help if you're not willing to invest in yourself. As soon as you flip the switch, you'll become one of us. I will never stop investing in myself because there will always be people that I can pay who have knowledge that I don't have. And once I get that knowledge, I will be able to implement that knowledge to make more and more and more money while you stay broke.
See, that's why your next 5 moves, I'm going to tell not just you, but the world.
Okay.
Your next 5 moves, you need a coach. You need a mentor. See, that's my secret. I leverage other people's knowledge, other people's experience. Why? Because there's people that could take you in the elevator instead of you taking the stairs.
Yeah.
You got to develop your character. Carlos, you got a strong-ass character. Why I got a strong character? You want to know something? You could borrow more money with your character than literally leveraging credit.
Absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong, but guess what? I'm living proof. I lead by example. You will never be free, cash flow. So once again, you need a coach, character, cash flow. Cash flow, you will never be free unless you become a business owner. Credit. Credit is the foundation to money. You got to learn how to leverage OPM, other people's money. He was talking about saving to invest. To save to invest, you got to work to save to invest. Rich people, the 1%, I know I'm one of them. You know what we do? We borrow to invest. Yes. What's easier, Sam? To borrow $1 million or to work for $1 million?
Much easier to
How
borrow.
long was it going to take you? Let's say you were making 20 grand, right? A year. You said 28. Let's round that up to 20. How long was it going to take you for you to make $1 million? That's without counting taxes. Let's say $20,000 clean. Yeah, it was 28.
Probably like 40 years, something like that.
So, people are not doing the math.
Yeah.
Men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. That's why when I play ball, I go against the grain. I use the blue ocean strategy, even in basketball.
Yeah.
Why play the game like everybody else? What separates the best from the rest is mindset. Same thing in business. What separates the best from the rest is mindset.
Yeah.
Do you know why most business people don't grow? They're not willing to invest into their skill sets. Most business people, they think they own a business. The business owns them. Yeah, and they don't understand, we the business. We are the business. The business only grows how you grow. And when you grow, the business grows.
Remember
as well.
Jay-Z, he said,
I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman. And I've been living by that.
Jay-Z is also, if you listen to his early raps, he always rapped about, business and like what he was trying to do. And there's certain like verses and songs that he's rapped and they became his reality.
Bro, words have power. Spell.
Yeah.
That's why the words we use, believe it or not, that's what we become. A man or a woman becomes what they think all day long. The quality of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts. That's why I always have said from day -0, I'm going to invest A through Z on myself. Bro, overall, I've never been afraid to invest into coaching, mentorship. Like if I know you're in X level, and I'm literally, first of all, I'm gonna try to take you out to eat, and I'm gonna pay. You got me? I'm gonna figure. I'm serious, because I know you gotta eat lunch, you gotta eat dinner. Hey, bro, let me know when you have time. We all have time. When can you make a priority? I know I'm not gonna waste your time.
Right.
You got me, bro? They try to pay. No. I'm paying. You got me? It doesn't matter if I don't have no money. I'll pay. You got me?
Absolutely.
Bro, just that time, you're going to observe so much knowledge. You heard what he just said, right? Because at the end of the day, knowledge, people perish because of lack of knowledge. Yes. What you don't know is keeping you poor.
It's called it's the stupid tax, right?
Yeah, you got to pay the stupid tax.
Right? Because you don't know, you're going to pay for what you don't know.
Is the most expensive thing on this world. What you don't know is keeping you poor. That's why a lot of people see me talk this confident and walk the way I walk. Bro, they don't know the inner work I've done. Like, I've done so much inner work that I could literally start at zero right now, no money. I'll make $1 million tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's how fast.
Well, it's because you have the knowledge already, right? You have
and I got the network.
And you got the skills already.
I got the skills, the network. So, you got me? I know how to deal with people. There's people that will approach people like myself. And without becoming valuable and asset. You got me? They approach things from what can I get from Carlos or from people at the top. Like I've never approached it like that. Nah, let me be. What can I bring to their table?
Right. What value?
How can I serve them? How can I help them?
What problem for them can you solve?
Yes.
Right.
How can I help them take them to the next level? Yeah. You got me? Because we all have something to bring to the table. Absolutely. A lot of people, they feel like, oh, nah, bro, this person is in this level, I'm here. No, bro, we're all here. You think they're here because the way you look at life, your perspective. You got me? God made the world so perfect that, let's use real estate. Right. Most people, they don't understand, they don't know that you could literally do a real estate deal with no credit. No money.
No money.
You got me?
Yeah.
Creative financing. Yeah. Creative financing. Don't you got a mother, a father, cousin, brother, sister, a boyfriend, a girlfriend? Somebody, a friend, somebody, or hard money lender, leverage somebody, a stranger.
Yeah.
Borrow the money, bring the deal to the table, right?
And that's a skill, right?
Bring the person with experience.
All that together is a skill.
That's right? Leadership skills.
Yeah.
Leadership skills.
Yeah, absolutely.
Unification. Yeah. Right? But you got to know how to communicate. You got to know how to organize the whole thing.
Absolutely.
Right? And you got to envision the idea. And you got to figure out how you could take the vision, the idea, the opportunity from A to Z. But you got to be A, B, C, D. Always be closing deal. Yeah. If a person says no, next option, next opportunity. But most people, they told me no, that means it can't be done. Bro, that means you got to talk to somebody else. 80-20 rule. Yesterday, I did a video, 80-20. Why the 80-20 rule could change your life. Bro, if people apply the 80-20 rule to their life, personal, business, basketball, everything, you will never fail. Make sense? Yeah, but too many people waiting for the perfect shot, the perfect moment. Bro, I'm all about progress. Right. Kaiser, 1% better. Yeah. I'd rather fail forward and fail fast than literally stay here. You got me? When a person takes one shot, I already took 100 shots. Who you think is going to make more, get a higher percentage? What I lack in skills, I'm going to make it up in numbers. Yep. And we miss 100% shots we don't take. So I'm going to take my shots. Right?
Yeah, you have to.
I'd rather people say I take a lot of shots than be the low vibration person complaining. You got me? Make sense, bro?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So going back, bro, keep telling us, bro, your story, anything you want to tell us. You got me?
Well, you talked about just vision driven and keeping, people who have the same mindset around you and things like that. I think that's why we're here today, right? Because, we work out at the gym. That's kind of how we met, and, we chop it up and we talk. And I think a lot of the things that you believe, I believe, right? And how
alignments.
Alignments, how business is, and also working with people, right? At the end of the day, like, this life is about relationships, and the relationships that you're willing to cultivate and grow with, and like the people that you want to pour into and that are going to pour into you, like your mentorship that you're talking about.
Building a visionary network, right? Networking with like-minded people.
Absolutely.
See, most people, they're not actively seeking people who share your vision or align with your values. Building a network of like-minded individuals allows you to grow and evolve with supportive partnerships, creating a culture of growth. See, everything around me is about growing.
Yeah.
You got me? Because grow means get rid of weakness.
Yeah.
Or grow means get rid of your old ways.
Yes.
Right? And a lot of people, they don't understand that. To me, broke is a mentality. Just like poor, rich, wealthy. It's a mindset, right? It's a way of looking at life. Like broke, to me, means having a little cash flow problem. I don't know if it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Right?
Yeah.
How can I fix my cash flow?
Right.
That's why I tell people and tell the world, never depend on one source of income. Make investment to create a second, a third, a fourth, a fifth, right? And this is why doing joint ventures with successful people, just like artists. If you know, for example, let's say you like Jay-Z, right? Right? Jay-Z already made his name. Imagine you get to collab with Jay-Z. What's going to happen?
A lot.
Huh?
A lot.
Huh?
A lot's going to happen.
Right?
Yeah.
It's the same thing.
Yeah.
In business, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm not collaborating with Joe Smokes. The people that do business, they're the top 1% of the 1%.
Right.
You got me? And I've been a businessman all my life, investor.
Right.
Like all my first business was when I was 14. But a lot of people don't understand that even when you open your first business, before that, you got to become the person. So God is building your character, molding you, shaping you into, so you could become that person. By 17, I already had 30-something employees. So I always been good moving people. And I always, the way I've handled business has been working on the business, not in the business. You got me? And I always basically, how can I open a business, open an opportunity, in another word, for somebody else? Because I always saw that most people are trained to look for work. That's why that's one of the quotes. I have the whole corporate office with different quotes to remind me of things that I live by, right? We create business or real estate opportunities that help build our network and our income while everyone else is trained to look for work. See, most people, they want to work for somebody instead of working with them. There's a difference, even the word. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does, absolutely.
Somebody tells me, Carlos, I want to work for you. I'm here already questioning them. Why you want to be below me? Why don't you say, how can I work with you?
Right.
You know what I mean? Meaning, how can we collaborate? If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. Yeah. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Absolutely.
Together, everyone achieves more.
Yes.
Right? So I'm all about, aligning, chasing the vision. Because when you chase the vision, the money's going to follow. To me, money is a byproduct of value creation.
Yes.
I've never had focus on the money. Right? That's why, shout out to Robin Sharma, the author of the 5 a.m. Club. I don't know if you read that book. This is his latest book. I don't get paid for this. But the wealth money can't buy. See, a lot of people, they're here chasing the money, right? But they don't understand. To me, health is wealth. Where did I meet you?
Gym.
In the gym. Yeah. Working your physical pillar. I go by 5 pillars. But the most important pillar, believe it or not, they're all extremely important, especially the spiritual. But the physical pillar, priceless, bro. Because how you feel, believe it or not, that's your energy.
Yes, absolutely.
Right?
Health is wealth.
Health is wealth. So when I partner up with people, I make sure that they're taking care of their health. We play basketball together. You work out. You got me? Your mental pillar, right? The difference between us and animal is our mind.
Yeah.
Our mind, right or wrong?
Yeah.
Right? So I value a lot people that are doing their inner work, their personal growth, their personal development, self-improvement.
Yes.
You got me? I call it also your golden hour. Why not take 1 hour of your time, 4% of your day, to literally invest it into your mind? John D. Rockefeller wanted a world full of what? Workers, not thinkers, right? The man or woman that works all day has no time to make money. So most people are chasing money instead of basically building a garden where the money could just come to them.
Right.
And that's one of my messages that I try to bring to the world. Why sell your time for money when with money you could buy time, right? Buy back your time. With money, you could make more money. People, they don't understand how money works. They think that getting money has 3 stages. You got to know how to get it. Right. That's necessary. You got to know how to keep it. But you got to know how to grow it. Yeah. The impossible. Right? It's possible to keep it. But you don't want to hoard it.
Right.
So you were talking about saving. Personally, me and savings don't get along. You know why? Because where we save, you're in real estate. real estate developers, investors, we invest in real estate.
Yes.
We buy an asset. An asset a day keeps the 9 to 5 away. So we buy an asset, and that's where we park our money.
I think what's really interesting about United States in general is the government incentivizes those who own real estate.
The world.
Right?
The world.
But
the world. I could go right now to Nigeria. In Nigeria, I'll become a multimillionaire.
Specifically here, though, because they allow you to leverage credit, right, to own property. You can buy
You don't think they leverage it also in Nigeria and everywhere?
Not at the same rate. Like, there's FHA, for example, FHA loan, 3.5% down. You can buy $1 million property by putting 3.5% down, $35,000, right? So
$300,000 property, $10,500. Yes, 3.5%.
3.5. So
meaning I gave a different scenario based on the area.
Right.
Because when you tell the average Joe Smoke that never even bought a $300,000 property,
right,
you telling them $1 million property, their mind goes into, I can. Instead of saying, I'll reach that, how can I?
Let me say it like this. So we're in New Jersey. So the average home price in New Jersey is about $500,000, maybe a little bit, maybe like $450,000. But the house that you want to live in probably costs like $600,000, right? But I say $1 million because let's say you wanted that $1 million, but the government incentivized you. So you go FHA, right? 3.5%, $35,000, right? But then on top of there's other programs where they'll incentivize you to help you with your down payment. There's a program called NJFMA in New Jersey where New Jersey will assist you with your down payment.
So there's no excuse, guys.
So that $35,000, you don't even have to come out of pocket for yourself, right? You can use that program where the state will actually give you your down payment. It's a loan, but you don't necessarily need the money, and now you can still own that property.
That's like you will never be free till you become a business owner. There's grants. You get money literally to just become a business owner. People don't know that. Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of people, and then what they don't know also that you could, to me, a home is a liability. Unless
it's cash flowing.
Unless you turn it into a business. When I say turn it into a business, turn it into cash flow where somebody else is paying for what? Paying you the rent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
And now with that money, you pay the what? The mortgage.
Yep.
So most people, they don't understand that you could literally take a liability and turn them into an asset. With the FHA loan, correct me if I'm wrong, right? Because you're the expert. I'm just a real estate guy with no real estate license, broker license. Why is it, Sam, that there's so many real estate people, real estate agents, brokers, that they don't own properties? That's a question that I want you to answer in this episode.
I can't speak for everyone, but I will say
so
this.
The world can hear this.
So in real estate, there's so many different parts of real estate, right? So there's the investor, like you said, is looking to create a business.
That's me.
There's the brokers and realtors who are basically service providers, right? Helping people buy, sell, rent homes. And then there's all the auxiliary parts of real estate, like the contractor, right? The developer who are creating the real estate, upgrading the real estate. And then there's title companies, there's mortgage loans. There's a lot of different parts.
See, I've had
in real estate.
I've had the experience, you could say, from, remodeling A through Z. Like, when it comes to real estate, because at the end of the day, even a business, when you're going to do a business, physical, you got to remodel it, plumbing, this, electricity. So you got to do certain things on it.
And I would say why some realtors aren't invested, because a lot of the realtors that I do know, they also do own properties, but they're not trying to make owning properties their business.
But they focus more on the commission, meaning they want the instant gratification.
Yes.
And there's a lot of real estate people, like, for example, an investor, there's levels too.
Right.
Like, for example, there's people that are flippers. I'm a buy and hold type of person. You got me? Buy and hold. Make sense or no?
Yes. Definitely.
Not like flipping NJ.
Not like flipping NJ.
He actually follows me.
Well,
I know.
I don't know his whole situation, the whole story, but when it comes to
I'm
being
not
a realtor,
anybody to judge.
Right, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So I encourage all realtors to become investors, right? Because the commission check that you get from selling a property is not the same as if you bought the property and now you're receiving rent from it. Now you don't have to go search for a commission check because now that property is bringing you rental income every month, right? And it's just like you said, another stream of income. You can be an active income, which is running around selling real estate, or a more passive income, which is where you're the investor, and then now you're getting income from the property that you own.
And there's levels overall. Because when you get to a certain level, you want to have good property management companies.
Exactly.
You get me? So it's better to make less and the business doesn't own you.
Right, because now you're delegating.
You don't want your tenants to be calling you the toilet got messed up.
Exactly.
This, that. You get me? Because I know all the headaches that come with real estate too.
Like you said, now that business becomes a job.
It becomes a job. Because the thing is, a job, a job, just over broke.
Yeah.
There's people that they value the pennies. You get me? They want to make all the money.
Yeah.
They want to cash cow the cow, like squeeze all the lemon juice. See, I'm not cheap. You get me? I'd rather make less than make more and do the work.
Yeah.
I'm more of I want my freedom and time overall. There's certain thing that, the wealth money can't buy.
Time is the most important thing.
Time is, you could get more money, but you cannot get more time.
Right.
Right?
Absolutely.
So, guys, what else so we could wrap this up? You got me? Obviously, we're going to keep creating more content, giving you guys more, different games. If it makes sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You're going to be able to invite me to your podcast. You got me? We're going to get creative. Got a question?
Yeah, there's 2 questions.
What other questions?
The first question is, how can we leverage a DCR loan?
DSCR.
Oh,
DSCR.
Right. So a DSCR loan, a debt service coverage ratio loan, is a special type of loan where
No income.
most people, when they're trying to buy a house, they're going to the bank, they're going to their mortgage company, they're using their W-2s, they're using their job to help them, basically qualify for the loan for the mortgage, right? Let's say you want to get a $500,000 house. Typically, you're going to put down, let's say, 20%, and that's $100,000, and then that's how they're going to approve you for the $500,000. So you're going to put $100,000 down, $400,000 is the mortgage, you buy the house, and that's that. There's other loans called DSCR loans where you don't need to qualify based on your income. You're going to use the rents from that particular property to help you cover the mortgage. So for example, the same $500,000 property, let's say, but now let's say that property generates $4,000, or let's say make it simple, $5,000 a month in rental income, right? So the bank says, oh, you want a $500,000 loan, this property generates $5,000 worth of income. We're going to use that income to help qualify the loan. So now it's not based upon your personal income, it's based upon how much income that property is actually producing every month. And they're going to use the debt service coverage ratio. Typically, they want you at 1.3, 1.25 in order to qualify you and say, hey, this property makes enough to qualify for this loan. We'll give you this loan based on the income that the property brings in.
So no excuses, guys.
Yeah.
You could literally buy a home, no credit, no money. We're going to be able to break it down more in capital gains.
Yes.
You get me? Because now he's a real estate agent, right? And I'm an investor. So we could basically go back and forth to speak on, for example, how people like myself do it.
Right.
You get me? Because we don't put no limits.
And then there's other things that you can do with the DSCR loan where, like, for example, I bought a property recently where I used the DSCR loan. And then for the down payment, this is where we talk about creative finance, I was able to negotiate with the seller where he holds a portion of the mortgage. So now at the closing,
I've done all those deals.
Right?
Creative. Even if you have the money, I mean, why use your money?
Why use your own money? So instead of me bringing the down payment to the loan, to the closing, I use the seller's portion that he's holding as the note for my down payment. So now I bought that property without putting up any of my money to get in that deal. I actually got a check at closing for $5,000 for that.
But you
deal.
see, most people, they don't know this.
Well, that's the knowledge, and that's why you have to keep on developing your skills, and that's why it's important to what you consume. I learned that strategy from Pace Morby, right? So he's on Instagram and Facebook, and what you consume is what you become.
That's true.
I studied that strategy for 2-3 years before I actually implemented it, right? And then also the property was also out of state.
But you know how I learned that strategy?
You probably just worked
Through
with
taking
somebody.
action.
Right, exactly. Just
you
did
know what I mean?
yourself.
Through being
You just
creative.
did
Through,
it, right.
listen, and that's the day keeps the 9 to 5 away.
Yeah.
If I have a deal there and I don't have it, I'd never say I don't have it.
You go
Who
find-
said I don't have
you
it?
find
God is not
somebody.
checking your bank account. God is checking your faith.
Absolutely.
You get me? I walk by faith, not by sight. Right?
Amen.
Man, call me crazy, bro. When I want to get something done, bro, look at me in my eye, bro. I get it done.
That's right. You
See,
find a
most
way.
people, they procrastinate.
Yeah.
And procrastination is it's a poverty, how can I call it?
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset, bro. Like most people, they're stuck in analysis paralysis.
Scarcity mindset.
Scarcity, right? I'm in abundance. If my boy got it, I got it. If I got it, he got it. That's how I look at the world.
You'll find somebody who has it.
I leverage.
Yeah.
I leverage. Why? Who says all the resources got to come from you? That mindset that, I want to own the business 100%. No. I'd rather get a percentage of something big.
Do you want...
I want 1%.
100% of a grape or 1% of a watermelon?
I want 1% of something big, than 100% of something small. That's always been my mentality. Yeah. That's why you never see Carlos with a job. Because I know how to leverage people. I'd rather, operate from the imagination, be the visionary, be the one that comes up with that business idea, comes up with a, real estate project, right? Then be the one implementing, doing the work, right? Managing it. You got me? I don't want to do none of that. Even though I have experience on all that. Let me get that right. For me to get from A to Z is because I already know my A, B, C, D. I don't know if that makes sense.
Makes sense.
I could literally take you in the elevator. But you know why I could take people in the elevator? Because whatever letter they're missing, I already know. I could spot the letter they're missing right from the get. Yeah. Like, I'm like, nah, bro, you got to stop in this floor because you need this skill set.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, absolutely.
Right? And ABCD doesn't just stand for always be closing deal. It means, translation, always be helping people.
Yeah.
If you help enough people get what they want, eventually you get what you want.
Absolutely.
And the name of the game is equity.
Yes. You want
equity.
You want
I want to read this to basically the viewers so they could get this little message across. Where is it? You could say anything.
You said you had two questions or just one?
Yes, two.
Okay.
The second question was, how can we become a GC in our own investment?
General contractor?
Yeah. So general contractor's license is actually pretty easy to get a general contractor's license in New Jersey. I think it's $100 or $200 application. The one thing you will need is to get insurance. The insurance can be kind of expensive, but basically you go to the state website, fill out the application to become a general contractor's license. They're going to want you to show proof that you have insurance for your contracting business, and that's basically it. That's the actual steps. And then now you're a GC, you have your license. You can basically use that license to develop properties, right? And you can use that to, let's say, if you find a piece of land and you want to develop it, you can buy the land, build it, and then the funding of it is depending on however you want to do it and things like that.
Now you want to hear my input? When he's done, keep going.
Well, yeah, so I'm just trying to tell her how
you can see the type of mindsets.
How you can get the GC's license and how you can, use it to develop a property and things like that. And then there's also programs like, for example, EDA, which is a program that for new developers, where if you've done like 1 or 2 projects, the state will actually give you grants to develop certain properties and things like that. But
you saw his mindset. That's why his podcast, say the name, Capital Games.
Capital Games.
Games instead of games.
Right, it's a play on words.
Play on words, right? We're going to be chopping it up, going back and forth between his mindset and my mindset. If I was to answer that question, ask me the same question so you can see how I'll answer it.
How can we become a GC in our own investment?
How can we become a GC in our own investment? First of all, I would even become a GC.
Right.
Bro, that's implementation.
Yeah.
You're working hard, not smart. Why not partner up with a GC? You see? Who, not how.
And I would say
You got me?
I would say he's 100% right. It's hard being a GC, managing those jobs. it's difficult, and that's why the GCs do get paid a premium for that. But you want to be the investor. Right?
Well, that's the thing. Why you want to start from the bottom,
bro? You
bro?
want to put up the capital and then just kind of manage the whole process versus you implementing it and doing the work yourself.
And low key, you know how I started?
But I would say this.
I started with no license. You saw he's taking you to the legal way. I'm an action. I'll literally start yesterday.
Yeah.
I'll get the ball rolling. Bro, if you tell these people, with all due respect, you got me, they need a license, just that will get them stuck. Because now they think, oh, but I need credit for the license. So they'll start triggering, so their mind starts fucking with them. Yeah. You got me? They think too much. Just start. You want to be a GC? Just start. Say you're a GC. I'm being serious.
Right.
Right? Try it out. Because if not, you're going to waste more time trying to get the license, trying to wait for this, trying to wait for that, trying to be the perfect moment. Bro, just start. That's my issue with the world. Have a do it now mentality. Which you were supposed to do today was supposed to have been done. Not yesterday, a year ago. When you were born. See, when I started business overall, bro, when I bought my first property, everything, bro, I've been leveraging all my life.
Yeah.
Why? When I started driving when I was 14. No license. I was driving like I had 1,000 license. Call me crazy. But at the end of the day, these crazy people like myself, like John D. Rockefeller, like the Henry Fords. Henry Ford, if you study Henry Ford, John D. Rockefeller, you know what they did? They leveraged other people.
Yes.
Henry Ford, the car, they literally took him to court saying that he was ignorant, that he was not a smart man. He's like, why would I need to learn when I have smart people around me where I could click a button and they could answer any question and fix anything for me? All I got to do is just move people. Right. You want to know what's the hardest job in the world? Getting people together.
Yeah.
Mastermind.
Yeah.
Right? You get a few people together with different skill sets and you're able to help them, collaborate peacefully without killing each other. The world's yours. The world's your oyster. That's my secret. Yeah. I've been good, partnering up with high-level people that are leaders, people that have people moving people. You know what I mean? And I've just been good with people. Yeah. Right? I'm good, networking with high-level people.
Absolutely.
That's the secret. What else? One last question before I read this.
Okay, there is two more, but the third one is, how can we purchase space and have Wawa pay us cash flow?
That might be your question, bro.
How can we basically purchase space and have Wawa pay us cash flow? First of all, if you want Wawa as a tenant, you got to go into their website and to corporate and find out what are the requirements, how much space, how many foot traffic, traffic. Oh, there's a lot of little research that you got to do in order to basically get a franchise that big to basically even rent from you, if it makes sense, right? But tell them to send you the location, the address, and to me, certain things are just common sense. Because as a visionary, I just envision, if you could envision a Wawa there, and you could literally spot out, compare Wawa from here, where's the other next Wawa, how far is also, because the franchise owners, they also have a protection that you don't want to compete, like you don't want to have them right next to each other, you know what I mean? Certain things are just common sense. But to have not just Wawa, because Wawa, you're limiting yourself. Why not use the 80-20 rule and say, okay, 7-Eleven, and you got me, open yourself up to other similar business concepts as similar to Wawa. Because you might not get Wawa, but you might get one that is not in the level as Wawa, but based on your property, based on that location, it works. Yeah. So you're here probably limiting yourself. Oh, I just want Wawa there. No, bro. Sometimes you got to literally make a sacrifice, get somebody else there. Yeah. Right or wrong?
Right.
And make sure that you got a percentage of the business.
Equity.
Whoever you basically have as a tenant, figure something out how you could get some equity.
Absolutely.
Because equity is the name of the game. Why just collect rent when you could just collect rent and equity? Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you partner with them, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Because their success is your success. Yeah. You don't want to bring a tenant to your building, to your property, where they're just going to fail. Like, serious. Right?
Absolutely.
What else? What's the next question? You got to have the experts to answer that.
How will you build a trust?
Answer a trust.
Okay. So a trust.
They haven't probably even built an LLC, and they're thinking about trust.
You're right.
You know what I mean? These guys.
I will say one of the best strategies for trust is actually John D. Rockefeller.
Of course.
Trust.
Study John D. Rockefeller A through Z.
Just search
the family trust.
Google Rockefeller Trust.
Yes.
To me, that's how you keep wealth, right? He devised a way.
The Vanderbilt family too.
To make sure that the money that he made wouldn't just be squandered on one generation, and that it would be passed down between generation to generation. And also he'll use compounding interest.
Yes.
To kind of make that happen, and also make sure that the family keeps on going and going. But long story short, there's many different people you can see to get a trust.
They use life insurance too.
Yeah, you use life insurance to do the trust, and basically you would just meet with the life insurance or any other rep who could set it up, but they will guide you on step by step how to actually set up the trust. And also, you're going to tell them what the trust is for. Are you using the trust for real estate? Are you using the trust for all of your assets? Are you using it for business? Are you using it to shelter for tax purposes? Because there's different purposes for different trusts. Is it an irrevocable trust? Is it a revocable trust? So depending on what you're trying to do, you want to develop that type of trust in order to implement that. Like the Rockefeller Trust is it's more of like a wealth preservation type of trust versus an irrevocable trust or a real estate trust where it's protecting you from being sued and liabilities and things
Every
like
day
that.
you go open a trust. I just call my accountant. You got me lawyer, boom, boom, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's how I move.
Yeah.
You got me leverage other people's thing. Just open it. Like that question they're asking us, like just take action. But I bet you anything that person, whoever asked about the trust, they probably don't even have a company.
Yeah, so I work with people who also develop trust as well. So you could always DM me, and then I'll put you in contact with some people who I work with as well to set up the trust as well.
To wrap this up, I want to bring this up. You got me? Where is it? Okay, right here. This is going to hit home run to a lot of people, if it makes sense. You guys are ready? Most entrepreneurs don't know how to prioritize the right outcomes. Most are focused on increasing active income. What they should be focused on is increasing their personal net worth. PNW. Once again, personal net worth. Those are two different things. Example, you have two exact businesses. One generates 1 million in profit, but requires the entrepreneur. The second one generates 1 million in profit, but doesn't require the entrepreneur. Which one is more valuable? Or more importantly, increase your PNW, your personal net worth. Obviously, the second one. That's why, that's what I spend the time coaching my clients on every week. Meaning that's what I focus more, if it makes sense. Because the thing is, most people, they don't understand that a lot of people, okay, I preach a lot, never depend on one source of income. Make investment to create a second, third, fourth, if it makes sense, right? Most people that I deal with, not that I deal with that are around, they're normally employees. At every 100 people, 97% of people are employees. Facts or no?
Yes.
Most people, they're followers. They're not leaders. They're trained to be workers, not thinkers, right? So even the people that are business people, they're trained to be working inside the business. To have a traditional mom and pop type of business, brick and mortar type of old school type of business, right? The world is changing by the second.
Yeah.
So this is why I preach a lot about we the business. I'm a vision-driven leader. Because now I tell the world, we got to become the business. You don't want to label yourself as a realtor, as an agent. Because the thing is, when you basically tell the world, I'm a real estate agent, realtor, guess what? They'll treat you. I could measure a man just by the title that he uses, or a woman. You got me? You could even tell how much money the person's making, depending the market, if it makes sense or wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Depends where like for example, you deal with multifamily, right? I'm dealing straight commercial, right? It's two different games, two different animals, if it makes sense. Because you could be an investor in just homes, multifamily, but you could be an investor in commercial, bigger projects.
Yeah, so multifamily is just the title, for example, like there's 3-unit multifamily and then there's 300-unit multifamily, which would also be considered commercial. Just depends on how many units you're dealing with.
But based on your IG, there are normally 3 families.
No, it's just multifamily. Well, on my IG, it actually says commercial and residential, but it's commercial.
But imagine you would have specialized,
right?
And you basically fire those customers, because I bet you anything, as a realtor, there's a lot of people that waste your time.
People are going to waste your time regardless of any profession.
But that's the thing. When you have that awareness, you set your standards, you raise your standards, and the universe is going to meet you there. Because now you're going to be like, I just want to deal with these type of clientele. 80-20 rule, right? Out of 10 people, you got to figure who are those 2 people that you want to invest most of your time with. Because they are the one that bringing you the most overall. Right. Right or wrong?
No, you're right.
Right?
Yeah, so right now, like where I'm at is I'm still helping people with real estate, purchase and sell real estate, but I'm also focusing on building my portfolio, right? focusing more on just being an investor, and that could be, you know, commercial, it could be multifamily. It just really depends on the deal, right? Whatever deal that's presented to me, if I feel like it's an opportunity, I'm going to try to take advantage of it. And like you said, whether it's by myself or bringing people in to partner with me and collaborate to get the deal done, that's actually where I'm at right now. But I like helping people get started, because, you know, when I got started, you know, people weren't really telling me or helping me kind of on my path. So like, a lot of my friends or family who I actually choose to work with, like you said, you could choose to 80-20. I choose to work with my friends and family because I'm trying to help them gain wealth and generational wealth and use my knowledge and my experience to help them on their journey as well.
You want to know what's the best way that I learned how to help others? Yeah. By helping myself, leading by example. Yeah. And also, in implementation, you really cannot help people, in my case. In unification, not anymore. Right. Straight up communication. Capital gains, right there you can help them by giving them knowledge. Because people perish because of lack of knowledge. By giving them vision. People perish because of lack of vision. Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
Right? So now, when you understand that there's levels in the value creation, and you could impact more people by bringing that wisdom. Why you want to limit yourself just to friends and family? I want to basically be that person, like look at Grant Cardone, like you want to bring awareness to the world. You got me? Not just, in my case, I just don't want to bring awareness right now to friends and family. Because I already dealt with the friends and family, and low key, believe it or not, you give them your hand, they take your whole arm just because they're friends and family. Yeah. You got me? I'd rather work with strangers, in my case. Strangers make you rich, right?
Motivated strangers.
Yeah, like, but you know what I mean, right? Yeah. What else to wrap this up?
How can we leverage life insurance to purchase income-producing assets?
So there's different ways you could do it. You can use like a whole life insurance policy. You can use a universal life insurance policy, but the whole idea of it is you purchase the life insurance, you put money into the life insurance, it's going to generate a certain amount of cash value, and then you would then borrow against that cash value to use as down payments to purchase real estate. So that's kind of like the
organize a life insurance for the family too.
That's the way
somebody
that people
dies.
do it. Yeah. And then on top of that, you can purchase multiple life insurance policies where you can kind of repeat that. That's called like infinite banking, basically, where you create the life insurance policy. Let's say you get to $100,000 worth of cash value, and then you borrow that $100,000 out of that life insurance policy while the policy is still intact. And let's say it's supposed to pay out $1 million upon somebody passing, and then you borrow that $100,000, you use that for like a down payment on a property. You want it obviously to be a cash flowing property, and then let's say it's making you, I don't know, $5,000 a month. At some point, you would repay that $100,000, and you just repeat that process, and you kind of do it
Rinse
over and over again, and over again, and that's how you would do it.
Guys, subscribe to the channel.
Subscribe.
Like, dislike, comment. Keep putting questions there. We might answer it another day. Sam obviously is going to be recording every week on his podcast. It's called
Capital Games on Instagram. If you need real estate needs, it's Sam the Realtor. If you want to follow some of the other things that we talked about, like life insurance policies and investing, I also have another Instagram, Sam the Investor. Follow me there. I'll be sharing a lot more content. Like Carlos said, I'm trying to really share my information and the things that I've experienced through my life.
We the business.
And if I can help anybody in any way, and just reach out, and I'll be happy to help.
Thank you, Sam. Really appreciate you. World, thank you.
Yes, sir.